Good afternoon, everyone. So we are kind of well into the new year, I guess, almost halfway done with January. I haven't lost any more chickens, so these guys are holding tough, although I did lose about half my flock this winter to predators. So that's something we're going to work on. Obviously, I did a video on all the weaknesses of my chicken tending and things I can do to improve it. It's extremely windy today, so I apologize for the noise. But I wanted to just make a quick video about what I got going on here, and then you know, the fact that the world is a crazy place and how I'm able to not pay attention to most of it because I stay busy doing things that actually improve my life rather than worrying about things that, you know, of which I have no control. So I see a lot of my friends online and in person concerned about political issues or world affairs, you know, whether or not we're going to war. All these things are concerning, but we have nothing to do with, you know, you have no say one way or the other in the outcome of any of these things. So all you can do is kind of have how you handle your life and your environment and your family, and really beyond that, you have no effect. And that's not pessimistic, it's just realistic, right? So, you know, you can have your opinions, but really, if they're just making you mad and you're just going and like engaging in conversations that you know are going to be confrontational and adversarial, when you could be using that time wisely to better your situation, actually build something of value, then I think you're wasting your time, you know, doing anything but bettering your life. So, you know, if you want to know my way of avoiding it all, I really just, I don't look at it, I don't watch the news, I don't pay attention to anything that isn't based in humor. So I do enjoy comedy. So I like funny things, especially if they involve cats. You know, really kind of slapstick base humor is where I find the most enjoyment, you know, a la Monty Python, even though that's not really base. So yeah, you know, if you're someone who finds that you're getting angry at things that you really have no control in, sure, you'd want them to be different, but you can't do anything to make them different except for in your own household, then maybe watch Spaceballs or something. So I wanted to, that's not the point of all this though. I wanted to talk about my plan for this pig fence I'm about to do. So as you can see out here, it's pretty barren, pretty wide open right now. It gives me a lot of chance to use this as a canvas and get it exactly how I want for this year's pig season. The real question is though, since I want to run cows in here, my plan, this was going to be 5-strand high tensile. So a wire, you know, boom, 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 all the way to the bottom. But typically that first wire is going to be here, and that's about 13, 14 inches off the ground. That is not sufficient for small pigs, and I will have pigs that are smaller at this point. So I think I'm going to do another wire about 5 inches off the ground and allow it to be hot. But I won't make it tied directly in to the rest of the hot wires. I'm going to put a switch on it so that I can have it hot only when the pigs are small enough to hit their noses on it. And then once the pig's face is up about here, I can turn off this lower wire and it'll just be a non-connected wire sitting there just by breaking the circuit for that one. And then the rest will be, you know, good. So now I can shock pigs as they kind of root through all this crap. They'll come through here and they'll be like, oh, I don't see no wire, and then boom. The hog net at least gives, and I'm still going to use hog net, but I want a good perimeter. It'll give me a lot of peace of mind. So, oh, I got a lot of fox poop out here. I've been having foxes and coyotes eat my chickens readily. I got to do something about that. But Anyway, so this will be a 6-strand fence, 1 hot wire at the bottom, and then a normal 5-strand high tensile like I did all around the rest of the property. That way I can put the pigs in here when they're small, have confidence that they're not going to escape on me, and then I can run cows ahead of them in just normal high tensile and not have to worry about that bottom line drawing too much off. I'll have to weed whack that first that 6-inch hot wire, that 5-inch hot wire off the bottom. I'm gonna have to do some heavy weed whacking because that's going to be a source of a lot of grounding out as we get into kind of the spring flush. But it is what it is. Like I said, I don't want to. I sometimes lose sleep at night when I got pigs out here and don't know, you know, if they're still there in the dark. So we'll do that. I also get to harvest a lot of firewood as I make these pastures. So if you're thinking about running pigs in the woods, again, use the hog net. They do respect that. But rather than run the single wire on the inside like I've been doing for a couple of years, and works, that's also labor intensive. So I think I'll run the hog net just on the edge of the high tensile with that bottom wire electrified until the pigs get to like 100 pounds or so, and that'll serve the same purpose, a second barrier. The hog net will run close to it, and then if the pigs were to escape, I will have, you know, secondary containment that they will respect, and it'll give me time to get out here and, you know, bait them back into where they belong with marshmallows or something non-stressful. Certainly I don't want to chase the pigs. That would not be effective, but that's the plan. So we're going to use this winter to get all these all these you know, fittings and fixtures onto these posts so that I can run the wire. I got to figure out where my gates are going to go. I only put the bones of the fence in, but I need to put a gate here somewhere. The thing is, I don't want to put a gate on this slope. It doesn't really show here, but this is a pretty good slope here. I'm walking downhill right now. So, you know, it doesn't really flatten out until all the way down there by the hydrant. And I certainly don't want the gate down there. I want it up this end, because home base this year is going to be over where all this fencing is. I'm going to scrap all this stuff or give it away. I don't have a use for it anymore. And then this is going to be home base outside of the high tensile. And the pigs are going to start their year grazing through that 3 acres. But they will finish their year up in here after the cows have had a chance to eat all this grass. And to do that, they need to be able to get from home base and in through a gate. So I may need to either do some earth moving here, which I don't want to do, and get this down level, or get an odd shaped gate that'll swing, like put the hinge part here and allow it to swing, but that's going to leave like a 1-foot gap down here, which I also don't want, or come up with some other solution, which I really don't know. Maybe you know, leave some wires dangle off the bottom of the gate or something. But we do need a gate. So if you got any suggestions, I could certainly use them on how to put gates on slopes and not leave gaps at the bottom. So please let me know if you have ideas. Please and thank you.